Everything you do, from the way you dress, to the passionate cadence of your voice, to the deliberate way you hold your frame, must stem entirely from your inner truth, never from a place of overcompensation. The next time you are talking to a woman and she looks at you with a surprised smile and says, "Wow, you are completely different from most guys I meet," do not get flustered or start bragging about why you're different. Just let a slow, unbothered smile hit your face. Look her right in the eyes and calmly say, "I don't impress, I express." Say it with smooth, absolute certainty, and then mean every single word of it. When you stop performing for the world, you become absolutely unforgettable to the people who matter. Let's look at the absolute peak of desperation that paralyzes the vast majority of men in the modern dating market. They live in a state of constant, suffocating fear of being replaced. From the moment they start talking to a woman they find highly attractive, this quiet panic completely takes over their psychology. They start walking on absolute eggshells every single second they are around her, treating every conversation like a dangerous minefield where one wrong step will cause her to leave. They overgive their time, they overspend their money, and they tolerate massive amounts of disrespect, bad behavior, and toxic mind games just to keep her from looking at another man. But here is the brutal truth you need to understand right now. The very moment you start operating from a fear of losing someone, you have already guaranteed your own failure. You are telling her subconscious mind that you view yourself as completely disposable, a temporary placeholder who can easily be swapped out for the next guy in her social media inbox. That weak, trembling energy completely kills attraction because it proves you do not believe you possess anything truly rare or valuable. The exact second you look a woman in the eyes and calmly, smoothly deliver the phrase, "Be careful, I'm hard to replace," you completely shatter that weak dynamic and flip her entire psychological universe upside down. You are stepping completely out of the position of a desperate beggar hoping to be chosen, and you are stepping firmly into the position of a high value asset. You are boldly reminding her and anchoring within yourself the absolute reality that you bring an incredibly rare level of masculine value to the table. This statement works so beautifully because it instantly plants a powerful subconscious seed of scarcity in her mind. Her internal narrative completely shifts from, "I have this guy completely wrapped around my finger," to the sudden, heavy realization of, "Wait a minute, if I play games with this man and lose him, I might never find another one like him again." Humans naturally value what is rare and difficult to obtain, and by establishing your scarcity, your value in her eyes completely skyrockets. However, you must understand that this powerful phrase only grows legs and carries real weight when your daily actions completely back it up. You cannot say these words to a woman and expect them to mean anything if you are living a lazy, undisciplined life with zero boundaries. You genuinely become difficult to replace when you live your life with an elite level of personal discipline, protect your mental peace at all costs, and possess the ultimate masculine power, the absolute strength to walk away from disrespect without looking back. When you are a man who is consistently building his body, expanding his mind, chasing his financial goals, and refusing to tolerate toxic behavior from anyone, you are already in the top 1% of men. You become a rare commodity in a world flooded with weak, overly available, spineless guys. When a woman sees that you live by a strict personal code and that your self-worth is entirely non-negotiable, she naturally recognizes that losing you would be a massive, irreplaceable loss to her life. To execute this perfectly, your delivery must be completely flawless, carrying a quiet strength with absolutely zero loud, childish arrogance. You don't say this with an angry face, a defensive tone, or a loud voice like you are trying to make a threat or brag about yourself. You deliver it with the absolute calm, unhurried clarity of a man who is simply stating an undeniable law of gravity. Imagine a scenario where she playfully tries to test your boundaries, acts a little hot and cold, or jokingly hints that she has plenty of other options. The average guy would panic, get defensive, or start asking for reassurance. Instead, you let all the tension drain from the room. Look her dead in the eyes with a completely relaxed expression. Let a soft smirk hit your face and say smoothly, "Be careful. I'm hard to replace." And then you let the statement speak entirely for itself. By showing her that you know your exact worth and that you are entirely unafraid of being alone, you command an unmatched level of respect, causing her to think twice before ever treating you like an option. Let's bring this entire puzzle together and look directly at the absolute unfiltered truth that nobody else in the modern dating landscape has the courage to say out loud. The real secret to unstoppable attraction has absolutely nothing to do with memorizing clever scripts and everything to do with the man you are when those words leave your mouth. You can study every psychological trigger, master every line, and know exactly when to drop the perfect phrase. But if those words are wrapped in an underlying layer of anxiety, hesitation, or a desperate need for approval, they will fail completely, every single time. Women do not just listen to the raw vocabulary coming out of your mouth. They are actively reading your internal frequency, your body language, and your emotional stability. The absolute most compelling, magnetic thing you can ever communicate to a woman is the silent, unwavering standard of a man who genuinely does not need her to stay. When you operate from that high level of complete emotional detachment and self containment, your energy becomes completely intoxicating because it is a phenomenon that most people rarely encounter in a world driven by desperate attachments. This fundamental shift in power has absolutely nothing to do with being cold, playing toxic mind games, or using underhanded manipulation tactics to trick someone into liking you. This is about operating from a place of pure, grounded self respect and unapologetic masculine presence. It is about drawing a deep line in the sand and deciding that your peace of mind, your life mission, and your personal boundaries are completely non negotiable, no matter how attractive a person is. Most guys spend their entire lives trying to figure out what women want to hear, completely blind to the reality that the man who knows his exact worth will always be 1,000 times more attractive than the man who only knows how to please. Pleasing people comes from a place of scarcity and a fear of abandonment, which naturally invites people to use you, walk over you, and eventually discard you. Grounded self respect, however, establishes a powerful presence that commands immediate authority, inspires deep respect, and naturally pulls high value people into your orbit. We need to close this out with a highly controversial reality check that you need to let sink deep into your mind and carry with you for the rest of your life. If you are still sitting around feeling anxious, overthinking your text messages, and constantly worrying about the fear of losing her, it means you have not yet fully become the man she is genuinely afraid to lose. Read that again and let it completely shatter any remaining illusions. When you are actively doing the heavy lifting, building your body, sharpening your mind, protecting your schedule, and refusing to compromise your standards for anyone, the fear of loss completely vanishes from your psychology. You stop viewing yourself as a disposable option and start recognizing yourself as a rare commodity. You drop the exhausting performance, stop auditioning for validation, and simply step into your power as the undisputed leader of your own life. From this day forward, stop playing the game as a chasing competitor hoping for a handout and start living as the prize. Build yourself into that unshakable man. Hold your frame with absolute certainty and watch as the entire dynamic of your world completely flips in your favor.